What's up, people? Elimination Chamber was a couple days ago, and man, what a show. Went from a not very exciting show to probably show of the year so far. Kicking off with the women's chamber match, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Roxanne Perez, and Bayley, all fighting it out in this big old structure for a chance at the Women's World Championship. At WrestleMania. And before I even start, Liv Morgan, you're the real MVP of this match. She was in it from start to finish, had some of the most creative and amazing spots, and had just an impressive performance. Starts off with Liv Morgan and Naomi in the ring, and an immediate Jade Cargill music hits. She finally returns. Storm from X-Men is back. Storms her way down to the ring. She goes right after Naomi. Starts just brutalizing her, attacking her. Man, Naomi didn't even get a move in. And she just brutalized her. Just took her out of the match. She was being led out the door and just took the door and just slammed it into her. Ow. So by default, Naomi's out. And Jade just said, I'm out too. She just went in there, took care of business, took her out, and this seems to be leading to a match at WrestleMania between Naomi and Jade. Bianca was crying like crazy in the pod. She had no clue what was going on, no clue what to do. She just freaking out and screaming for Jade to stop the attack, and she was not letting up at all. There wasn't anything super crazy in this match. It finally started out with actually Bianca and Liv in the ring because, the whole Naomi thing. And a lot of just back and forth, a lot of one-on-one type of stuff. It was really good. It was really good, don't get me wrong. Just, there wasn't a lot to say about it. I felt like this match really kicked into gear when Bayley and Roxanne came into the ring, because those two have had kind of like a little mini feud going between NXT and Raw. One of the most absolute memorable moments about this match was a codebreaker combo from Liv into Roxanne. Roxanne falls, and Alexa hits a twisted bliss from the top rope and eliminates her. That was cool to see. I've never seen anything like that before. And Alexa started going on a roll in the match, and then just out of nowhere, Liv Morgan hits a roll-up on her and eliminates Alexa. I mean, I knew Alexa was not winning this match. I love Alexa, big fan, but knew she was not winning. But that was a very surprise elimination out of nowhere. Had me blown away. Once I counted the 1, 2, 3 along with the referee, I was, whoa, wait, she's actually eliminated? Eventually, it ended with who it started with Liv and Bianca. And they had their own little 5-minute one-on-one match. And they had a really memorable moment where they went to one of the top of the corners on the pod, and they started fighting on top of there, trying to pull each other off, and just out of nowhere, Bianca whips her hard with her braid. Oh my god, it sounded like a gunshot. Apparently to people in the arena, you could hear that too. As I predicted, Bianca hits the KOD, she gets the win, goes on to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. She does have a small chance of facing Io, because tonight on Raw, Rhea and Io are competing for the Women's World Championship, and those two have a little history between each other, and for the few one-on-one matches they've had, Io has always won. I believe in you, Rhea. I love you. Let's get that one-on-one. Let's get that Rhea and Bianca one-on-one, but I also wouldn't mind a triple threat. That would be awesome. So Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Like I said in the predictions, this is kind of just a filler match. Not much happened in it. Honestly, if you can kind of think of just tag team match, this stuff happens, more than likely it happens. Heel gals dominate for a while. Tiffy comes in with a hot tag. Trish tries to hit a bulldog off the top rope, but a little messy there. Tiffany hits her moonsault, and like I said, the Blondes win. Kind of felt like a generic match, but it wasn't a bad match per se. It was just the worst of the night because of the fact that the other three were so good. And, you kind of got to have the worst from the best. And it's kind of like Return of the Jedi, where it's the worst of the trilogy, but it's still really good. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. Oh my god, what a banger of a match. This was so good. Was so violent. Starts out with some classic wrestling, turns into brawling, and then it turns into pure violence. Chairs get involved, tables get involved, a hockey stick got involved at a point. Sammy brought out a bunch of chairs at a point, and those things started getting abused already. They started hitting people's stomachs, they started hitting people's backs. Kevin went to go smack Sammy doing something. I'm not sure what he was going for, honestly, but he went to go smack Sammy. It hit the rope, bounced off, smacked him in the face. Eventually a chair was set up as a regular chair would be set up, and Kevin smacked his face into that thing and then got German suplexed into it. Ow, made me cringe hard. A hockey stick got brought out. They started whacking each other with that thing. Kevin started taking it and grinding Sammy's face with it. Ugh. And earlier Kevin had brought out tables, 2 of them actually, and put one on there and then stacked. You kind of forgot about it for a bit, and then it was set up like right in the corner where the ring post would be. And so Kevin was in the corner at a point. Sammy was pounding away on him and put Sammy on the top rope, pushed him off, threw 2 tables. Those things crashed and exploded with sound. That sounded like it hurt going through that. But hey, you thought that was brutal. Sammy brought out a steel chair wrapped in barbed wire. Oh my god, my jaw dropped when I saw that. I never would have thought seeing barbed wire chairs in current day WWE. That's more of an AEW thing. He started hitting Kevin in the back with that thing, and you can see the spiky parts going into his back through his shirt. It made me cringe so hard. That was cringe. But this was worse. About a minute later, Sammy set up 2 chairs opposed to each other, and then put the barbed wire chair right in the middle, bridging it in between. And oh my god, he put Kevin into a powerbomb position. Powerbombed him into it. Oh my god, you'd have to see it to see how brutal it is. That was hard to watch. I thought the match was over at that point. I thought Sammy was the winner. But nope, apparently not. Kept going. By some miracle, Kevin gets up, takes Sammy, puts him to the outside, and puts a chair around his neck and starts ramming him into the post. I thought that was brutal. And then he just went classic NXT mode on him and just started powerbombing him into the apron. Jesus Christ. How is Sami Zayn not dead? I'll give the commentators this too. They did a great job at making you feel bad for Sami Zayn, because they made it out to be like he was getting the worst punishment of all time. Even I started giving in, yelling at the TV, being like, come on, man. Just throw him into the ring, pin him, win it. And that's exactly what he did. Kevin Owens won. My prediction was wrong. No, it wasn't. Because he started attacking Sami Zayn again after the match. Just, you brutalize the guy for about 15 minutes. Apparently that's just not good enough. But someone heard voices in his head, and he came strolling down to the ring, hit a damn nice jaw-breaking RKO on Kevin Owens, and was about to go for the punt. And why did security stop him? He would have been completely justified in hitting that punt. But yes, please, I've been saying this for months on end. Let's get this match at Mania. Let's get Randy Orton. Let's get Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. And the final match of the night, Damian Priest, Logan Paul, CM Punk, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, all competing for a shot at Cody Rhodes in the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Entrances were hidden, people were coming out, John Cena's music hits, and my God, Toronto was praising that man. I am so glad Cena's been getting the praise that he deserves over the past few months. Because that man, I have said it before, I will say it again, he is the greatest of all time. And like I gave an MVP of the match to Liv Morgan, I'm giving one to the men's match, and that MVP goes to Mr. CM Punk. Because that dude lasted way longer than I thought he would have. I was hoping he'd last towards the end. He did. He put on a great performance. Drew and Seth start off the match, and they kind of just, have a little one-on-one for a bit. There wasn't really much to say about that, just like the women's one. But there was one spot where the padding was taken off where the turnbuckle is, where it's connected to the ring post. And Drew just catapulted him chest first into that metal. Oh, God, that's gotta hurt. Damian Priest comes in next, and based off the promo that was on SmackDown between the four of them, Damian and Drew start going at it because they had a little bit of beef with each other on SmackDown, rightfully so. After that, Logan Paul came in, they all started kind of doing their little four-way fight. And then my man, John Cena's pod hits, which surprised me because I thought he would have been the last one out. Man, but he looked like a house of fire coming out of that thing. He was going at it. He was going to work. He was hitting his 5 moves of doom. He was doing everything that he can to look great. And he did. My God, that came out of nowhere. That was just came out of frame. And then Damian rolls up Drew and eliminates him. So I'm assuming that's setting up a Damian and Drew match for Mania. He then gets all pissy about it, hits a Claymore on Damian, and then Logan Paul takes advantage of that, goes up to the top of the pod, goes off that thing, and hits a frog splash onto Damian Priest. Had to knock the wind out of him. He landed hard on him. And then eliminates him. And then CM Punk comes in, hits a GTS on Logan Paul, and gets him out of there. Loved it. They were booing Paul all night long. And then Cena and Punk lock eyes. Punk gets in the ring, and we get the inevitable Cena and Punk one-on-one, which I am so happy to see. They hugged it out for a second out of respect, started brawling. Seth Rollins gets involved. He joins in on the fun. Then all three of these guys start going at it. Eventually, Rollins powerbombs Cena into the chains, then takes him from the chains to one of the pods, powerbombs him through the door, so Cena's out for a bit. So then it comes down to a little mini one-on-one again between Rollins and Punk. And the history between those two is amazing. And the one-on-one that they had was really freaking good too. But Cena makes his way back into the match, and they hit one of the coolest combos I've ever seen, where Punk takes Rollins, hits him with the GTS, and then it kind of turns around into Cena. He hits an AA on Rollins, they eliminate him. That was cool. I've never seen anything like that before. That was really cool to see. And that leaves it down to my two faves, CM Punk, John Cena, one-on-one for a chance at the title at WrestleMania and facing Cody Rhodes. They're hitting their signatures and their finisher moves back and forth. Bunch of kickouts, bunch of close calls. Until it comes down to Cena was still in the ring. Punk was kind of trying to get up on the outside. His head was kind of sticking outside the ring. And apparently Rollins was hiding somewhere because we didn't see him for a long time. He came in, stomped Punk's face into the ring, and John Cena jumped on that opportunity, dragged him over, locked in the STF, and Punk passed out from it. John Cena wins! I was correct. John Cena's going on to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes. Hell yeah! The chamber raises, Cody Rhodes' music hits, he comes out, congratulates Cena, and we move into our next segment, which is Cody answering The Rock's offer to take his soul. What's that supposed to mean? No one still knows. And Rock comes out to the ring with Travis Scott, who looked very out of place in this. And eventually came down to Rock and Cody finally giving the answer to each other, which is, Cody said, "Hey Rock, go fuck yourself," which was absolutely great. The crowd went insane for it. John Cena was still in the ring. He was jumping around like that man had won the Super Bowl. Oh my God, that was great to hear, because no one wants to see Cody joining forces with The Rock. It just doesn't make sense. I'm so surprised they let that fly. Saying fuck on screen on a streaming service. I'm surprised they didn't censor that. That was great to hear. And John Cena jumping around celebrating. He came over, hugged Cody Rhodes, and this is when the huge pipe bomb happened. Rock did the slit throat movement, held up his two. What that means, we'll find out eventually. And John Cena, for the first time in 20 plus years, has turned heel. And oh my god, this is incredible. My jaw was dropped. I looked like the surprise face emoji, to be honest. This was incredible. No one expected this. Absolutely no one expected this. And if you tell me that you expected this, you are a damn liar. He kicked Cody right in the balls. And this crowd, the internet, was so divided on this. I see this as a great opportunity. This could be amazing. John Cena could be an amazing bad guy. People have been asking for it for years. We're finally getting it. Let's do it. Oh, this could be incredible. Villain Cena, in the final year, this could be amazing. He started beating Cody Rhodes with a Rolex, a mic, and the WWE title, and stood side by side with the final boss being The Rock. And man, this just looks incredible. That is a picture that I would never thought I would see in my lifetime, honestly. My god, this is going to be talked about for ages. Now I know how people felt when Hulk Hogan turned heel and joined the NWO. So this is what it felt like. Wow. What a show. This has got me more excited for WrestleMania. And I really wasn't all that excited. Yes, I am. But this show just made it more exciting. And man, talk about another good show. Raw was great. Kicks off with CM Punk furious pulling into the building, comes storming down to the announce table, takes a mic, starts calling The Rock and John Cena a fraud, was about to start going in on Seth Rollins, but before he even said anything, Rollins' music hits, and they just lock eyes, and they're just sworn enemies for life at that point. They just start brawling from stage back to announce table. These two were not letting up. These guys legit looked like they wanted to kill each other. And later in the night, Adam Pearce confirms it for next week at Madison Square Garden, a steel cage match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. In the never-ending rivalry, I am excited to see this. That could be great. Man, every match tonight on Raw felt like something important because a champion was involved every time. It was either a championship match or a champion was involved, and the champion that was involved, who wasn't defending his title, was Gunther, the world champion. It was kind of a nothing squash match, but still really cool to see the world champion just get a dominant victory. Build up the victories to make you look like an unstoppable monster leading into your championship match at WrestleMania. And another world championship match, which was the Intercontinental title. Lyra Valkyria defended her Intercontinental title against Ivy Nile, which that was a pretty fun, pretty good back and forth match. Great job, ladies. And the other title match of the night, the Creed brothers against the champions, the Viking Raiders, for the tag titles, which this was super good. I'm already a fan of the Creeds. I'm already a fan of the Viking Raiders. Man, this just made me more of a fan of these two. Oh my god, this was actually a really good back and forth. There was a few times where I thought the Creeds were going to take the tag titles, but they inevitably did not. But man, it was a killer match. Although someone did lose their title. Unfortunately, that was Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky had a match for the World Championship, and this was really, really good. Io had the advantage going in already, where she is beating Rhea one-on-one every time they faced each other. And this one was no different. It was really good back and forth, unpredictable action, honestly. And it just kind of came down to Io was on the outside of the ring. Bianca Belair was sitting ringside waiting to see who she's going to face at WrestleMania, and was rooting on Io and told her, hey, get back in the ring, you can do it, kind of thing. Rhea took that personal. She came running over to Bianca, was screaming in her face, "What, you don't want to face me?" Starts shoving at each other. One shoves, the other shoves, which shouldn't that have been a blatant disqualification? But I digress. And gets back in the ring, goes for a riptide on the top rope. Io reverses it into a hurricanrana. She lands on the floor, and Io hits her over the moonsault, and boom, we got a new Women's World Champion. Oh my god, I was not expecting that. I thought Rhea was easily going to retain. And I thought they were doing the whole build-up and on commentary, saying that, oh, she's being her one-on-one every time they have faced off against each other, but this time it may not be like that kind of thing. I thought Rhea had all the momentum going into this. I'm a big Io fan. I'm a big Rhea fan. I did not expect Io to win this, but man, I'm glad she did. I felt so bad for Rhea afterwards, though. She was clearly heartbroken on the outside of the ring, clearly pissed off at herself. Gable had a little segment on the show where he was over in Mexico. What was he doing there? Trying to find the secrets to Lucha Libre. He goes to someone, we don't know who, and they give him a box. He opens the box, it cuts away. We'll find out whenever. Not sure when, but man, this gave major Lucha Underground vibes. Because that show was dramatic as fuck. Chamber was great. Raw was great. Keep this momentum going, guys. Let's keep this momentum going into WrestleMania. Let's make WrestleMania 41 killer. Tell me what you thought about it. Like, subscribe, and see you later. Stay safe, stay sexy.